think they're victims.
Well, I do in some sense in this, what I'm describing here, that these fake scandals are created and then they have some effect. And you've been talking about the effect before I came on the show here.
Are all the scandals involving the Clintons, quote, fake scandals?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I take you through each one in this book, you know, I've dealt with the ones from the 90s and prior books, as you know. Yeah, look, nothing's been found. These are nothing burgers.
Okay. I'm going to ask it for you. I'll let you finish.
Okay, well, Meek and I need about 45 minutes, so why don't you go ahead? You go first.
No, go ahead. I'll let you.
No, go ahead, Harold.
We've been talking about the polling this morning. Just
sure,
switching a little bit here. How do you account for what the rise that Bernie Sanders is saying? We were talking about ideas about there really doesn't seem to be a clarity and a purpose around the economic message, or at least it's not coming out. Is that part of what you think is what's happening?
Well,
what do you believe
is
happening?
It may be that it's not breaking through. I mean, we've had, again, 6 months of nothing but email. In the last month, New York Times, 70% of stories on Clinton dealt with the email and 30% on everything else. So she is out there, and I think if you talk to reporters covering her out in the field, she's connecting, she's talking about a really substantive agenda, and I think when people, we're not in the debate season yet, when the candidates get up there and they want to think about who's the next president of the United States, I think she'll do well. So I would say, yeah, something's not breaking through, the substance isn't breaking through, but that's because there's been a relentless campaign of distortion here that's gone on for 6 months, and I don't think that Hillary Clinton brought that on herself. I really don't. I wouldn't have thought, and you know, I try to predict a lot in here, the Republican playbook, but 6 months ago, I wouldn't have thought we'd still be here talking about the email.
It's not a Republican playbook, and that's the thing. You say it's a nothing burger. If it's a nothing burger, you attack the New York Times, you attack the FBI as well. Do you think the FBI is on a witch hunt against Hillary Clinton? I mean, you know, Hillary will come out and say things that just aren't true. She'll say, well, gee, I didn't break any rules. She did. There was a 2009 regulation to the Obama. I mean, you talked the Obama administration.
He doesn't believe that.
No, I don't.
I don't get that.
We can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree.
But here's
hold on a second. When you're disagreeing with that, understand you're also disagreeing with people in the Obama administration that put the regulations out there that tell us she broke the rules. So you're entitled to whatever you want to believe, but you are in a corner by yourself when you believe.
Here, the Department of Justice did a legal filing last Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that was a funny
so I'm not
filing.
in a corner by myself. They looked at this and they said two things. One, that it was entirely proper and appropriate that every government employee makes the decision themselves about what's a work-related email and what's a personal email. Right. They make the decision because without supervision. That's right. And then they said the deletion was appropriate. That's right. They said the deletion was appropriate.
But here's the problem with that, David, is
I'm not here by myself.
If I delete an email and I work for the State Department, I delete that email. But if the State Department has to investigate my actions, they can go back and get access to that deleted email. In Hillary Clinton's position, she sets up her own server the day she starts office, and perhaps it's wiped clean, perhaps it's not wiped clean. That makes it entirely different.
I don't think so. The Department of Justice says the deletion is totally proper and appropriate. So I think, together with Hillary's interview last week where she said, look, she's sorry for her role in this, she takes responsibility, and this legal filing from the Department of Justice, this thing goes away and it's put to bed.
You're fine then if Dick Cheney is appointed by Jeb Bush as Secretary of War, decides he's going to have his server in his home in McLean, and then before the investigators come, he just destroys it.
There's precedent.
Is that fine?
It destroys personal email? Yeah, that's
no. I'm talking about destroys the server, so you will never be able to know what he decided was personal and what had to do with war.
That's the employee. Every employee in the government has the decision to make to classify work-related or personal. What's government property?
And if they follow the 2009 regulation and they actually,
which she did.
No, she didn't. And they contained it because she didn't contain it in the State Department. That is a matter of fact. You just say it's just a matter of fact. That's not. You're not even entitled to that opinion.
Yeah, there was no real-time archiving requirement in the 2009 law.
They were supposed to at the time. If you look at 2009, what do you mean how did they end up there?
Well, she turned them over.
She turned them over like a couple of months ago.
Well, no, 90% of them were there all along because she communicated with people on the state gov accounts. 90% were there all along.
No, 90% of them probably were not there all along. We don't know what other emails she sent out. We don't know what emails she sent to foreign leaders.
Well,
we don't know what emails in and out.
Let me ask you this.
And so, but again, though, the regulation is clear. And they're supposed to back it up, and they're supposed to back it up by having it at the server at the department where they work. She didn't do that.
But not in real time.
So that's the new
Yeah,
twist?
well, no, they
Not in
changed the
real
law
time?
later to say you have 20 days to do that. But that law was not in effect when she was secretary.
It was in effect, though, in
Not the requirement
in
for the real-time
2009.
archiving.
Well, you guys
We're
just
just gonna
proved why
agree
this
on
book
this.
is fascinating.
Look,
It is
thanks a lot.
called Killing the Messenger, and here we go. This is it, right here. Right here. This is, we don't really, I'm not even, I hear you.
You know what? It's
but I'm not ganging up on David Brock, because I would never be
It's your day. It's your
tough on
book.
him.
We'll leave it there because they're screaming in our ear that we can't go on for the 30 minutes I'd love.